Condiments on the carnivore diet. What condiments can you have on the carnivore diet? Today we are going to talk about all of the condiments, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hi, I'm Kara from Health, Home, and Happiness. We are talking about the carnivore diet today. The first condiment that you might not have heard of is fish sauce. And stay with me, it's really good. Fish sauce can be topped on chicken, it can be topped on like stir-fry beef cubes, it can be used over fish, and it has that almost like soy sauce umami flavor that adds just richness and a really good change of pace to your meals. And it's not so weird that like you can't serve it to guests or you can't serve it to your family. It's actually really good. It's made with just anchovies and salt and water. And so it's a very pure, as way as condiments go, this is going to be one of your best condiments for the carnivore diet. The second condiment, and everyone's favorite condiment, would be butter. And butter makes everything better. So mix it with ground beef, butter your steak, and then you can clarify it, which I'll link to up above. You can clarify it into ghee easily in your oven, and that makes the smoke point higher. And for people that have dairy allergies, ghee is a great way to get the buttery flavor without the milk proteins or the lactose that cause problems in some people. The third really awesome condiment that you're gonna want to be using on the carnivore diet is reduction sauce. And reduction sauce is just stock, like your homemade beef stock or your homemade chicken stock that has been simmered down until it starts to thicken up. And then you can either add collagen protein, which I'll link to down below, or gelatin protein to make this a little bit more thick. And so that's called a reduction sauce. This is in like top restaurants all over the place, and all it's made out of is meat. So to make reduction sauce, all that you have to do is take your beef stock or your chicken stock and simmer it down until it's taking up like 1/4 or 1/8 the amount of volume that it was. So we're just evaporating the water off. And then after it's reduced down, it will thicken up a little bit and it makes a nice sauce. You want to wait to salt it, not when it's big in your stock pot, but you want to wait and salt it after it's been reduced to the sauce-like consistency. And then it can just stay in your fridge and you can top it over any roast that accidentally got too dry, or just if you need like a little bit different texture on your meals, reduction sauce is the way to go. And it has all those healing benefits of the collagen and gelatin that come from when you make homemade bone broth. If you really want to treat with your reduction sauce, use marrow bones and blend the marrow into your sauce, and that makes it nice and creamy. And again, it's only meat. The only caution that I would have with this is if you know that you have issues with histamines, which look above for more information about that, the reduction sauce is going to be a little bit higher in histamine, so it might not be ideal for those that haven't balanced out their histamine issues yet. The next awesome carnivore condiment is baconaise. And baconaise is mayonnaise that you can make with just egg yolk and melted bacon grease. It's awesome. You can use it everywhere that you use regular mayonnaise. It's something that you make in your own kitchen. It can be a little bit tricky to do it the first couple times, but once you have it, you can start making deviled eggs again. You can make it into like chicken or beef or tuna salad. It just adds a lot of variety to a just meat and egg carnivore diet. Next up is bacon sprinkles. And who doesn't love putting bacon sprinkles on everything? Bacon sprinkles are your new sprinkle of choice on your carnivore diet. Egg yolk is another excellent condiment on the carnivore diet. If you are going without dairy or you're trying to lower your dairy consumption, cooking a fried egg and leaving the yolk runny gives you like all of the ease of dairy and all of the like creamy goodness. But it adds a little bit of variety and it's obviously dairy free. So putting a fried egg with a runny yolk on your steak or putting it in your ground beef, it can just dress it up a little bit. With your egg yolk, don't be afraid to toss out the whites. Like in general, like feed them to the dog or compost them or whatever, but most of the nutrition in an egg and all of those good fatty acids are coming from the yolk. And so if you want to stir a raw yolk into something, like as you're browning ground beef, just to add a little bit different texture and flavor, you can go ahead and just crack a few yolks and put those into your dish, and don't feel bad if you're tossing out the white. All the nutrition is definitely in the yolk. Homemade sour cream is another excellent condiment for the carnivore diet. This is something that you can make a variety of different ways. Most of us have Instant Pots that we love. You can even make sour cream in a cooler. There's a cooler method that I will link to down below. Sour cream just adds a little bit of variety and a little bit of tartness to our carnivore diet. If you don't want to make it on your own, store-bought is just fine. It's just not going to have those beneficial probiotics that we get when we make it out of a yogurt culture ourselves. Cheese sauce is a much loved recipe from the Carnivore meal plan, and you have another video from me showing you exactly how easy it is to make cheese sauce yourself out of ingredients you probably already have in your fridge. That is another excellent condiment for the carnivore diet. What we just talked about are all excellent condiments for the carnivore diet. And next we're going to get into the maybe not the best, but also not awful for the carnivore diet. People that are doing strict carnivore are going to want to avoid these, but they're definitely not bad to include in your diet as you're transitioning on or if you need some variety. The first up is lemon juice, and some of us do end up needing to supplement vitamin C. I'm one of those people, so I just juice a couple lemons a week. We'll talk about who needs to supplement vitamin C in another video. If you don't have any symptoms, you don't need to supplement. If you have, like usually in women especially, it's showing up as bruising. And so if you have like persistent bruising on the carnivore diet, you might be too low in vitamin C for right now. So as your body adjusts, go ahead and juice a few lemons and just put that over your sour cream, over your plain yogurt. You can put that in your broth. It's really good. It sounds weird, but it's really good in like chicken stock. So salt your chicken stock and add a squeeze of lemon and it's absolutely delicious. Next up is mustard. As far as condiments go, if you're going to not so strict carnivore, mustard is a great condiment. It's vinegar and mustard seed. There aren't a lot of ingredients to like mess with your system, and it's not going to have a lot of carbs in it. Homemade ranch is another good one, especially when you make it with your baconaise or you make it with your homemade sour cream. And then you can just add some garlic, add some onion, add some chives and parsley, and I'll link to a homemade ranch recipe down below. The last for the maybe okay condiments on the carnivore diet is fresh herbs definitely can be used. Or even dried herbs and spices are totally fine. But as you become more completely nourished on the carnivore diet, you're probably going to find that your cravings change and your body really just wants that meat and salt, or even just plain meat. But if you want to go ahead and include some herbs and spices in your meat, as you're doing the carnivore diet, you are more than welcome to, and they don't have the carbs, they don't have the fillers, they don't have some other stuff. Next, we're going to talk about condiments you're going to want to watch out for on the carnivore diet. And I'm not saying if you use these, you're not a carnivore. There are no carnivore police, but these are ones that could be causing you to have problems. They could be causing you to just not get all of the benefits out of all the work that you're putting in to cook up your meat and eat your meat every day. So the first condiment you want to watch out for is barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce can have corn syrup. Barbecue sauce almost always has nightshades, which is like tomatoes, peppers, which are linked to autoimmune issues. Barbecue sauce can have MSG. You can look at the store and find a more clean barbecue sauce, but most of them are going to have sugar, they're going to have carbs, they're going to have nightshades. And so those are all things that can cause problems on a carnivore diet. Seasoning blends like dash seasoning, steak seasoning, all of those seasoning blends often have fillers like cornstarch, which we want to avoid. They also have things like MSG or preservatives in them. And they also have the nightshades that we just talked about that we want to avoid. Tomato sauce, same reason, nightshades. Tomato sauce often has corn syrup. Tomato sauce often has soybean oil in it, which are definitely things we don't want to be having on the carnivore diet. Pepper. So if you are salting your meat, which in the Carnivore Training Wheels class, you'll notice that all of our recipes are just meat and salt. And that's because pepper is actually something that does cause problems, especially in people that have joint problems. Pepper could be causing problems. And so just eliminating pepper for a little bit, and just using sea salt and seeing how you feel. And then you can know if you add pepper back in or not and see what your symptoms do. Even though it's a super common condiment and even though it's only one ingredient, it's not something that is without risk on the carnivore diet. And then there's this super ugly, and I really would appreciate if all of my viewers avoided these condiments on the carnivore diet, or really any diet at all. And the first is commercial mayonnaise, like Best Foods or Miracle Whip. I don't think that's a mayonnaise, but avoid that too. Instead of mayonnaise, which has like GMO soy in it, it's just all rancid, gross, pasteurized vegetable oil gloop. There's nothing redeeming about commercial mayonnaise. Instead of mayonnaise, use butter, bacon grease, your baconaise, which is mayonnaise made out of bacon grease. There is a recipe for that in the Carnivore meal plan. Cream cheese or sour cream. There's lots of options that we can use that are like more delicious than mayonnaise for sure, and also are going to be way more beneficial for our health. The second ugly condiment for the carnivore diet that we want to avoid is commercial salad dressing. Instead, make your own. If you want to include seasonings, that's fine. Just make your own salad dressing, and it's super simple. Like my 5-year-old can make salad dressing. Or if you don't want to make your own salad dressing, just use butter. Butter is delicious all on its own. You don't need all of those soybean and weird nasty vegetable oils that are in commercial salad dressing. You don't need the sugar that's almost always in them. Just go ahead and use butter and you'll be good. The next ugly seasoning, and this is kind of a stretch for a seasoning, but it's breading. So a lot of people will be like, oh, can I just go to KFC and get chicken and do the carnivore diet? If your chicken or your meat has breading on it, like chicken fried steak, avoid that on the carnivore diet. You're not really giving it a solid chance if you're still including grains, gluten, and who knows what else is binding that breading on the meat that you're eating. So breading is definitely an ugly condiment for the carnivore diet. And lastly is seed oils. So a lot of times we'll like fry a steak or we'll fry our eggs in the morning. Just don't fry in seed oils. Don't fry in canola oil, olive oil, don't fry in sunflower seed oil. Just go ahead and use the healthy animal fats that we have available to us. Usually if you cook a roast or something, just save the fat that stays in the pan and use that for frying your eggs instead. Reserve your bacon grease. Like who doesn't love eggs fried in bacon grease? There's really no excuse because there are so many good, delicious, healthy fats on the carnivore diet to have seed oils have any place at all in your carnivore kitchen. Condiments definitely have their place on the carnivore diet, but you also will probably find that most days, especially once you're used to the diet and you're used to the simple, awesome nutrition that it provides, you're just super happy with your steak that's just nicely salted. Check out this video up here and I will show you exactly how I do my very foolproof, delicious, absolutely awesome tri-tip roast recipe. Did you like this video? Like and subscribe, and I want to see you back here again. And then tell me below, what is your favorite carnivore condiment? What are you using the most often on your meat? Or are you someone that's gone to just meat and salt, or even just meat with no salt? I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you back soon.